I'm going to present to you guys a list of quarterbacks. I'm going to bring them up one by one. I want to know if you would take them for the 2025 NFL season for this Cleveland Browns roster, where we're at, what we got going on, and see what we have from here. What?
The
What are you
comments
laughing
are
at?
popping off.
Yeah,
As a
no, I was
Michigan fan, I
shaking my
enjoyed
head
the
at the
game.
comment. Yeah.
Oh, I can't see the comments because I had this here. Let me see
Here,
what we got going
I'll throw
on.
it up for you.
As a Michigan fan, I enjoyed that game very much.
It's not happening at Water.
Yeah, enjoy no playoffs, buddy. Enjoy no playoffs.
Thank you for listening, though.
So let's go into it. Let's get this thing going. I'm going to go through this list of quarterbacks. We got some college. We've got some professional. We've got some wild cards in here. Let's keep it short, brief, where I'll give our opinions. Eric, I'm going to let you start. And the first quarterback I have to show is one, Will Howard.
Come on. Will Howard's going to be pumping my gas, and there's nothing wrong with that. But no, the answer is no.
The answer is no here. What about you, John?
No. It's debatable. I am in the camp that Will Howard's a good Ohio State quarterback, but I've heard people say I don't want Will Howard as quarterback of the Buckeyes. What the hell do I want him in Cleveland?
No, he's been okay, honestly, but no, I don't want him in Cleveland.
But yeah, okay.
He led in a lot of categories, by the way, leading up to Saturday. We are elitist.
Let's move forward. So I want you to picture this. Something goes on down in Texas. They fire their coach. They decide, no more. We're starting fresh. One Dak Prescott becomes available. John, you taking him? Yes or no? Why or why not?
Hell yeah. My thought going into this isn't who's the best quarterback in the entire history of the universe. My question is, if you're faced with the prospect of going into next season with Jameis Winston or Deshaun, or is this person better than both of them? And Dak Prescott, the answer is yes.
Eric.
I go into it looking a little differently. I go into it, are they going to win me more games? That's important. But are they going to be funnier than Jameis? When it comes to Dak, the answer is yes, I would take him in a heartbeat. I don't think his slide off has been as a result of he's not a bad football player anymore. Like Aaron Rodgers has really tailed off because of age. I don't think that's Dak. I take him in a heartbeat.
I would also take Dak. I feel like, even though I am very high and low on him at the same time, depending on what the money looks like and what compensation would look like, in a magical world, if Dak could come to the Cleveland Browns, 100%. Like I said, there's some wild cards in here. Let's go to a one.
Hold on. One caveat with Dak. I will never draft him in fantasy ever again.
Why'd you take him the first time?
Right.
It just seemed right at the slot that I had him available, and it didn't work out.
That's a quote. We need that on a T-shirt, some office merch. It just seemed right. Eric Williams.
I got him cheap in a low round, and I'm paying for it.
Yeah, you got what you paid for, brother.
Yeah, go Geno Smith. Let's go.
Let's go, Geno.
Moving on. Guy that has been rumored to Cleveland already because of his connection to Kevin Stefanski. Where he's kind of at in terms of his career with the team he's on right now. One, Kirk Cousins. You taking him? Yes or no? John, go for it.
This is closer, but I think yeah. Stefanski's shown ability to work with quarterbacks in his system, not named Deshaun Watson, and I think he's slightly better than Jameis. I wouldn't be like
slightly.
Yeah, a good amount.
Okay, yeah. There's a distance.
Wait. Let me play some caveat. Yes, I would take him. I'd take him as like a 1 year, 2 year rental stopgap. You're trying to make a push for the playoffs again next year in 26 while you draft someone and develop him. Yes, I would take him in that aspect. However, he has shown signs of getting older. He's thrown a lot of picks the last couple of weeks, which is a big deal when you're talking about aging quarterbacks. That's the first sign that they're starting to kick the legs out from underneath the chair, or whatever expression you want to use.
The defense I want to hear what Eric says, because Noah literally made my point.
Well, first of all, put that picture back up there real quick.
Well, I deleted it now, or I would.
It was comedy
Bro.
the first time, and now it's going to be how handsome this guy looks.
Well, no, I was going to say we need to teach bro how to smile because that was pretty bad. But getting back to football, yes, I take him. First of all, Stefanski has proven that he can coach a pro-style quarterback, a traditional pro-style quarterback, and that's what you get with Cousins. Yeah, interceptions can be an issue with an aging quarterback. We saw that with Flacco as well, but who wouldn't have taken Flacco going into this year instead of Deshaun Watson? I'm an absolute yes for Kirk Cousins.
Moving on. They have
we
a
all
young
agree.
quarterback.
Wait, real quick, Noah. We all agree so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No to
true.
Will Howard. Yes to Dak. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's keep rolling.
Moving on. Down in the bayou, there's a quarterback with a guy behind him, a younger player who's had some attitude problems, but was a former top recruiting college, as well as they're probably going to have some good draft compensation. Maybe they take someone else. One guy, one named Derek Carr. You're taking him to be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns for the 2025 season. My answer is yes, in the same vein as Kirk Cousins. Stopgap, bring him in, try to win some games, keep the culture going, draft a guy in this year or next year. John?
Yeah.
Eric?
I tend to agree. Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, I've always called him a fraud. I don't think he's the guy that gets you over the line to a Super Bowl. But what the Browns need, well, we need a lot looking at this season, but what I think they need, or what I thought they needed, is a guy that can manage a game well, let the defense do a lot of the work, try not to turn the ball over and make some plays when you need it. I think Derek Carr can be that guy. I think he's had some rough stints based on where he's been and the coaching that he's had, but I think he'd do pretty well in Cleveland. So I'd say yes.
If
John?
you're evaluating whether or not to, this is probably true in life with anything, but it's definitely true with quarterbacks. If it's a coin toss, keep the one you have. I would say no. I could easily be talked off of that point, but I don't think he comes to Cleveland and materially or at all does better than Jameis. I think he'd throw less interceptions, but be less explosive and dynamic for down the field. And I think we get more or less the same as what we have. So I'd rather see a second year of Jameis than Derek Carr. But if they brought him in, I wouldn't freak out. But we're not going to the playoffs and winning a game in Kansas City with Derek Carr next year.
We're still talking about Jameis Winston, right?
Yeah.
The guy that ate a W, because I know we've had fun for a couple weeks, but this is Jameis. He's thrown like more picks than touchdowns.
We went full Jameis on Monday after all. Gentlemen.
He threw for 500 yards 2 days ago.
I'm just making sure and lost the game. It was fun, but it was still a loss.
Well, Carr's lost a lot of games. Let's not get there.
Right.
I said Ty. I didn't say he sucked.
Derek Carr has a very attractive wife, and I'm not saying that weighs on my decision, but
what are we even talking about right now? Okay, we're moving forward.
Sponsorship.
Eric's single. He's allowed.
Well, she's
phone
not.
Call. But a phone call comes in. It's the 2025 NFL draft.
I love these setups.
Yeah, I do too.
The Raiders give you a call. They're currently sitting at number 2 in the draft order, and say, "Hey, we'll take a 5th round pick to take your pick." Just magic.
With his bad hair.
Right. And they obviously we take that trade and select the one, Shedeur Sanders. Yes, no, maybe so.
No, absolutely not. Listen, here's the thing, and I have 2 thoughts on this. Number one is that I don't want to draft any quarterback. I don't think this is a class that they're world beaters. And I think that we potentially have a team and talent on a team that could make a push if we had the right guy under center and we could shore up our line. And I don't think drafting a rookie quarterback helps us in that goal. And I also don't like the circus around it. I think that the Sanders are all out for themselves. I do like that Coach Prime walked that fatherless guy. Well, he's not fatherless. He's in jail, but I walked him out for senior day. That was cool. But it just feels like everything they do is for them. And I feel like they'd pull a Manning and say, no, he's not going to Cleveland.
See, that was going to be my caveat. The answer is yes if he wants to play here because he's easily the most talented quarterback in this class. I feel like to this point, we haven't had the combine happen and everything. Yes, if he wants to be here. Hell no if it's even a question about if Prime's going to be like, nope, trade him.
Can I ask you, gentlemen, one thing about him? Do you think he's better than CJ Stroud?
He could be,
but
I don't know.
Yeah, the upside's there. He could be CJ Stroud, absolutely.
And granted, CJ's struggling this year, but I don't know. I don't think we're in a place. We don't develop rookies well. That's the other problem. If we're bringing in somebody, he needs to sit and learn, and we're not going to do that.
And we can have that conversation at another time. We used to not develop rookies well. We have done a good job of developing most rookies in this organization just because Jedrick Wills...
Quarterbacks is what I meant.
We have never had this front office and head coach touch a rookie quarterback before.
But our point is plugging somebody in to play immediately. That's not how you develop a rookie that you're drafting.
That's fair. Again, this could be a debate for another day. Speaking of rookie quarterback...
I think... Sorry, go ahead. Are you moving on, or were you going to?
I was moving on. Yes, I was going to move on.
Oh, I didn't get my Shador answer.
He didn't say yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
All right. It's your world, Squirrel. I'm just trying to get it out.
God, the dad jokes tonight, man.
Crazy.
I say yes for the total package. Is he going to come in and be the immediate quarterback of the future? The odds say no, but he potentially could be. But I think his ceiling is very high, and I think he has the potential to be a franchise quarterback. I love this show, though. I think we get so serious about sports, we forget the number one thing is entertainment. And part of the reason the loss against Denver didn't feel like quite so much of a loss is because Jameis had some great sound bites and threw for 500 yards. Like, we were entertained even though we didn't win, and that's hard to do in the NFL. We're not on Broadway, right? So with the Shador Sanders, Deion Sanders show in Cleveland for 3 years, in addition to the fact that he could also be a poor man's Lamar Jackson, make me interested in him? Absolutely. Now, you're going to push the reset button a bit because I don't think we're going to compete next year, and then you got expiring contracts and a ton of money. Yeah. There's all kinds of issues. But yeah, like if I could entertain the idea of bringing Derek Carr here, I for damn sure would bring Shador Sanders in the draft if that phone rings.
Okay, fair enough on that point.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Speaking of that phone ringing, in this world it didn't, and you stayed at what I think we're currently the 8th or the 9th pick. We are currently the 8th pick. And you stay, but you're dead set on getting your new franchise quarterback. One, ACC demon, Cam Ward. You taking him? You want him? Because my answer right now is, depending on where we end up in the draft, I'm a Cam Ward fan, and I would take him. But again, it depends on where we're at in the draft and what trades can happen, blah, 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 blah.
Quick point of clarification. Doesn't he play in Miami?
Yes.
So why did you say ACC Demon Deacon? That's Wake Forest.
I didn't say Demon Deacon. I said ACC Demon, period, because he's the best player in the ACC.
Question withdrawn. Go ahead, E.
Well, being the best player in the ACC is like being the best. I don't know. You get my point. That's not a conference where you brag about being the best player. That said, same answer. I don't want a rookie quarterback that should be developed, and I want somebody that's going to make an impact for us day one. I also hate Miami, so no.
John.
Yeah, times two. I don't like the ACC. I don't like Miami as a team. I don't think they play good talent. The last ACC quarterback to come out and do anything was what? Deshaun Watson? How's that working out? Like, Ken Dorsey? No, pass. Absolutely not. I mean, I hope he does well. No shade, but like a first round pick or taking a no. Not on him.
Let's move forward.
Wait, did you say yes or no?
I said yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Cam Ward fan. I think he is going to be the Drew Luck of this draft.
Best of the ACC.
I said Drew Lock. I meant, you know what I meant. Anyway.
What has Drew Lock done that was so amazing that you think we should take him?
He's arguably the best rookie quarterback this year. It's him or Daniels, and Daniels has played rough the last couple of weeks. That's another debate. Let's move forward. We have quarterbacks that we need to evaluate here in rapid fire succession. Speaking of a quarterback that we're going to evaluate in rapid fire succession, Mr. Crab Legs himself. Are you bringing him back next year? Are you going to eat another W? Jameis Winston. Look at that smile. Look at that smile, man.
Hell yes. I don't care how we keep him. I don't care if he's on the bench. I just want sound clips. I think he should be mic'd up for every single game, whether he's on the bench or starting. When he was running off the field after his interview against the Steelers, the game that was on Prime, and he said, I'm going to order a W on Amazon,
order,
and it will be there by the time I get home because that's how fast they are. I mean, nothing beats this guy talking. I don't know. He's a national treasure. Protect him at all costs. Keep him a Browns for life. He doesn't have to start, but I just want to hear this guy forever.
Hell yeah, I'm with Eric. I don't care if he starts or not. Like, why would you get rid of him? If he leaves in free agency, there's nothing you can do about it, but I want him to try and re-sign. First of all, we might need him. The way things have gone the last 3 years, a backup quarterback or a third-string quarterback is somebody who might play in Cleveland. But the other thing is, like, the sound bites, like, this is the horses are ready, but this is the Lord's war. Where are you going to get that?
Or the Lord and the pick sixes.
What was it? I hope the Lord forsakes me from pick sixes. Hold on. I'm going to pull up our post for the story today just so I can say it right. Praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes. That is a quote and a half.
The man is, I mean, if he doesn't become a preacher after his NFL career, I don't know what he's doing. And I forget religion for a second, but I'm subscribing to that church. I'm going.
And it's not just the show off the field. He threw for 500 yards this week. He's not awful. He just throws picks a lot.
That's true. They say if you add in the yardage from his pick sixes, it is the most passing yards in a single NFL game in history.
Fantastic. Speaking of a guy that we're all familiar with, the definition of a bridge quarterback. Maybe you pair him up with one of these guys I mentioned, Shadur, Cam Ward, Ewers. Who knows? I don't know who's going to end up going in the first round. Good old Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby. No, I like Jacoby a lot. He's a step backward for us. The answer is no, but I wish him luck out there.
Yeah. We're aligned on this one too, Eric. I love the guy. I wish him luck. Nothing but good things, hopefully, for him. And I hope he wins the Super Bowl. But, like, we're not – I mean, you can't keep Jameis and him. So I'd keep Jameis and let him go. You don't need two backup quarterbacks of that caliber.
That was what my answer was. If you can't have Jameis, I'd take Jacoby in like a rookie or do something like that.
Yes.
That's basically what the
that's a great caveat. If Jameis leaves and you could get Jacoby, bring him back, yes.
Oh, yeah, 100. I agree with that. Noah, before you go on to the next one, I'm over here waiting for two names. And I don't know who you're going to bring, but I'm like a kid, like waiting for these two names. And if they don't come, I'm going to be disappointed. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting. Well, this one intrigues me a little bit. He was pretty piss poor. He was pretty terrible for most of his NFL career. Then he signs to the Minnesota Vikings. And this man is having a career year and is only on a 1-year deal. He's going to be a coveted free agent, whether the three of us like it or not. One, Sam Darnold.
I just hate his face so much. Like, he's just got one of those faces. I'm out. No.
He looks like Buzz from Home Alone.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Wolf.
Wolf.
It's Christmas season, so another dad joke, maybe. Sorry, Noah. No, I don't think so either. We'll see how this season ends, but if he feels real flash in the pan to me. But I don't know, though. Would you rather have him than Derek Carr? Like some of the other people I said, yeah, I'd entertain it. It would depend on what's going on.
Yeah, that's my answer, too. It depends the cost. It depends how long we're going to bring him in. It depends what that all looks like. But above guys like Derek Carr, hell, even Dak Prescott, I feel like you know what you got there. There's a chance that, a Sam Darnold and a Kevin Stefanski system is a match made in heaven. I don't know. This is one of the ones I like, and I think more fit the situation that we're in is to take flyers on these guys for 1 to 2 years and really see what we can develop out of them. What were you about to say?
Depressing. I mean, why don't we just get Zach Wilson? Isn't he available? I don't know,
I
man.
think that's different.
It's just depressing that this is where we're at, but go on.
Well,
Moving
that's what I
on.
was going to say too. None of these are things that excite me like crazy.
Well,
But
that's the nature of where we're at right now, right?
Yeah.
If I would be so happy if the Browns said, we are not starting Deshaun Watson because he stinks, and we are going to go with someone else, and this is the guy, I would take every single person you listed over Deshaun next year. Everyone.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of former hyped up quarterbacks, there's trouble down in Duval County. Jacksonville has decided to blow up the stadium. TD Trevor Lawrence Bank Stadium is no more, whatever the hell they were calling it when we played them in week 2. And they decide to ship one majestically locked Trevor Lawrence to downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Are you taking him? Why or why not?
Well, I mean, my first question is, what is this accent with some of these down south places that you're naming? But beyond that, yes, I'm taking the locks. I'm taking the arm. I think he's somebody that we haven't seen the ceiling at all. He has talent, and I think Stefanski could do wonders with him, honestly.
Yeah, I'd take him to if all of these guys were available and you ask which I would most prefer, it's probably Dak, but Trevor Lawrence is right there. And Trevor Lawrence has more upside. He's played for a shit franchise. I see that working more in all likelihood. And I think the kid's a baller. I didn't love him at Clemson because they beat the Buckeyes and we had like a rivalry going there, but I think he can play some football. Yeah, I'd take him.
The targeting penalty.
Ugh. I felt bad.
Sorry.
Yeah. His team's fighting in a circle around him, and this dude's like seizing up with like the concussion hands on the field. That was ugly.
Yeah. I would take him in a heartbeat too. It depends on the compensation because I don't want to give out 3 first-round picks ever again in my entire life, even though I think we've done a good job with that situation, all things considered. But I want you guys to take a trip with me. We're going to go into
Osawa County in Florida, wherever we
No,
where are we headed now, buddy?
A room.
A dark go home room. To Kansas.
A locked dark room for days at a time. Enjoying some ayahuasca.
It's ayahuasca.
Oh, Jesus. I got it just before you flashed it. John, I want you to go first on this one.
Real quick, I want to give some background here because I didn't have him included when I first came up with this list. And I was listening to some sports talk today. First of all, for our listening only viewers, we are talking about Aaron Rodgers, if you didn't get my ayahuasca and dark room reference. There were some links to us trading for him when that sweepstakes was going on. Kevin Stefanski has shown interest in him in the past. All signs point to Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry staying in Cleveland at this point in time and moving forward with that brain trust. I don't know, man. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I could see it happening. I don't know how I feel about it. I've never really liked Aaron Rodgers, but it's damn sure better than Jameis Winston and Deshaun Watson. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, guys.
Go ahead, E.
Well, is it better? I mean, he has 3 wins through 12 games. This is a man whose slide off has been pretty severe. He blames everybody but himself. He blames his coach. He blames the refs. He dates more people and dumps them than I can name. He doesn't talk to his family. I still don't think he does. He's a weird freaking dude. Would I take him? Hell yes. This is Aaron Rodgers we're talking about. If not alone for the circus, yeah, I'm in for it. Let's do it.
Why?
Go ahead, Noah.
I was just going to say, why not, right? Well,
yeah,
at this point, why not?
Yeah.
Go ahead, John, man.
Yeah, I would take him too. I think he is a little bit younger and a lot better. Little to a lot better than Joe Flacco, and we did some cool shit with him. I think this is a system thing and what we're trying to do thing, though. If you said you got to take one of these guys and roll with him for 5 years, my answer for him moves down the list. But if they said, Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, defense, long in the tooth, Browns window closing. You got another year, maybe 2, to put this together. Out of everybody listed, I think Aaron Rodgers gives us the best shot because, like I said, I think he'll do what Flacco did, but he's more talented and he's a little younger. And I could see this. I could see us with the Cleveland Browns as currently constructed with Aaron Rodgers competing for a Super Bowl next year.
Whoa, okay. Can I say one thing? We talk all the time about Mike Tomlin doing more with less.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers has done less with more. He's won 1 Super Bowl. The fact that him and Brett Favre each won 1 Super Bowl with Green Bay, that's a failure. So I'm not saying, listen, the dude had a rocket for an arm. I think he's an excellent quarterback. But to say that we compete for a Super Bowl because we add him to our team, I'm just not there yet on that.
Yeah, I can see not being there. I would recant that question with how many quarterbacks in the last 40 since 1999 that the Browns have had got even 1 Super Bowl?
No, I get that.
It's
I'm just saying,
Flacco, and that's I think it. Like I'm not saying this guy is the next coming of the Messiah. I'm saying out of everybody listed, he's the one who I see plugging into this team and giving us a chance to compete.
But you said we could compete for a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Why wasn't the man competing for Super Bowls outside of one with Green Bay? That's my point.
I get you guys.
I would argue he competed for Super Bowls. He just didn't make it.
Who was he running? There was no New England buzzsaw he was running into. Who in the NFC was he running into that was just world beaters that he couldn't make the Super Bowl?
100% the 49ers. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The Rams were really good for a couple of years too.
The Rams had one, and that was post.
Well, they won.
This is gentlemen. This is off topic, so I'm going to reel us back in to wrap this thing.
Answer still yes.